Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make these three stationery inspired necklaces. For the first necklace you're going to need some book darts, some very thin wire. I'm not 100% sure exactly how thin this one is, but it just needs to be small enough to fit in the fold of the book darts. You will also need some chain, a lobster clasp or other closure, some wire cutters, and a couple of pliers. You will also need some small jump rings, a little bit of bigger chain for our closure, and some glue, which I forgot to put in there. To start making our necklace, we're going to measure out how long we want the centerpiece to be, the piece with all of the book darts, and we're going to curve the end of the wire into a little spiral, a little circle, and start stringing on our book darts. So book darts are a fold of metal, and where the fold is, it widens out a little bit. That's where we're going to string our wire through. And just going to keep going till we have the centerpiece the size that we want. Once you've got your centerpiece to the desired length, cut off any excess and curl the end of the wire into another circle. You want to repeat it a couple of times so that it's nice and strong. The next step is to measure the chain around your neck to find how long you want it to be. Cut your piece of chain in half and then attach it to the ends of your centerpiece using jump rings. Then we're going to add the lobster clasp and our little piece of extra chain to complete the closure. I used jump rings again for this. Now this next step is kind of optional as the book darts are pretty secure, but I just wanted to make sure that they weren't going to come off, so I did a little dab of glue in between the fold. And then leave it to dry and your necklace is done. I love the way that it reflects off each of the book darts depending on the angle. For our second necklace, we're going to be making a tiny notebook. So we need some paper, some pliers, a pair of scissors, some larger jump rings, a hole punch, and something for your pendant to go on. I already had this chain, so I'm going to use this. We'll also need some card, some glue, which I forgot to put in this shot, and something to decorate the front of your notebook with. I ended up just using a metallic pen, but you could put whatever you want on it. First step is going to be to make our pages. So I'm getting a piece of this paper and folding it over and over. I'm wetting the fold, which will make it easier to rip, and then to rip it into lots of small pieces to make our pages. And I'm repeating this process a couple of times. Fold, rip, fold, rip. Once you get to the final stage, you just want to fold them. Next, you want to start putting them inside of each other. I decided to make 2 lots of 4 pages put inside each other, and then I'm going to staple them. Another tool that I forgot to put in the front. Now that we have our pages sorted, the next step is going to be to measure our cover out of the card. I wanted the cover to be just a little bit wider than the pages, so I'm measuring out pages with a couple of millimeters to spare on each side. I ended up using a smaller pair of scissors than I showed in the tool list to curve the edges of the cover. Next step is to hole punch through all the pages and the cover. My pages were a little too thick to do this all in one go, so I had to fiddle around a bit. Next step is to do a line of glue and glue in your pages. Try not to get it all over your fingers like I did. I'm just using this clip to hold it shut while I write notes on the front in a metallic pen. Then we're going to grab one of our larger jump rings, open it up and thread it through the hole punch and onto the chain. And once that dries, your necklace is done. I'm not thrilled with the way this turned out. I think it's okay, but I would like to attempt this DIY at some point in the future. For our last necklace, this is probably the easiest and requires the least tools. You just need a Quill Pen Nib, something for your necklace to hang on, like here I have a leather strap and some pliers. Now I did this off camera because I wasn't 100% sure it would work, but all I did was flatten the end of that quill nib, and then I'm using my round pliers to curve the end into a circle, so it's now a pendant. Hopefully the camera is showing that well. Now that I've got it into a circle, I'm going to just open it up slightly and hook it onto my leather and close it up, and that's it. I would really love to see what this pendant looks like on a dainty silver chain. You can also layer these necklaces. I think that they look really cool as a set. I didn't quite get them at the right lengths to wear all 3 at the same time, but you can pair the longer notebook necklace with either of the shorter necklaces. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.